It's Adam here. And in this video, I'm just going to be talking about some mindsets, some shifts in your perspective that are going to help you to get out there and take action, approach the women that you want to meet, the girls that excite you. Like when you're walking down the street and you see that girl and you're compelled to talk to her, but instead of just going up and saying hello and finding out if perhaps you guys are a match and would like to take things further with each other, like a win-win, looking at it from a win-win perspective, you allow that opportunity to pass you by. And if you pay attention on a daily basis, as you're going about your day, you're going to see beautiful women quite frequently, especially, I guess, if you live in a major city. So, like myself, I'm from Vancouver, British Columbia, and on a daily basis when I go out, I'm constantly seeing women that intrigue me, that I am perhaps compelled to want to go up and say hello. But why is it that sometimes you don't go and make the attempt? Well, I think it's because of your mindset. For some reason, you care about the environment, or you care about the opinions of others, you're worried about rejection, you're worried about putting yourself out there, being the center of attention, you're worried about people overhearing your conversation, because maybe you've been conditioned to be ashamed of your desires as a man or as a woman. So you think that there's maybe something wrong with going up and talking to a stranger and finding out perhaps if that person is available and maybe would like to go and have a romantic date with you. So instead of going up and saying hello, you allow that opportunity to pass you by. Well, how long are you going to do this? Are you going to be, a decade down the road still being worried about the opinions of others and still allowing these opportunities to pass you by? You only live once. You are not going to live forever, and you're going to be old one day, and then you're not going to even have the opportunities that are available to you right now in your life. And again, they say the best laid plans of mice and men most likely will fail. So the future is not guaranteed. So enjoy the moment. Enjoy today. Do the best you can today with where you're at. Practice appreciating what you have, but still look at the ability, the opportunity, the privilege you have to still set goals for yourself and work towards the objectives, the goals, the vision that you have for yourself in the future. It's fun. Remember, life is fun. Don't take it too seriously. Now, some ways that you can work it out in your head, or some reasons why, again, that you might be allowing these opportunities to pass you by, is because, again, you value other people's opinion more than your own opinion. You have to start valuing your own opinion. You have to start looking at yourself as the authority in your life and stop looking for others to give you permission. Be unapologetic about your desires, about your wants for yourself, whatever those are. When you go out into the day and you see a girl that attracts you, you go up and you make the attempt. Why? Because you've decided that that's a meaningful pursuit for you, and that's something that you want to do with your life. You want to build your social skills. You want to proactively work on cultivating romantic options for yourself, and you've decided that there's nothing wrong with that. And everybody's going to have an opinion. There's many different opinions out there. So are you going to listen to the opinions of society, of your parents, of your friends, of the sitcoms or movies that you're watching? What are the values? What are the morals that are being projected onto you? You have to start deciding for yourself, what are my morals? What are my values? What is meaningful to me? I'm the authority in my own life. I decide what is meaningful. I decide what is right for me in my life. Nobody else. And then you go up and you make the attempt and you approach the girls that you find attractive because you give yourself permission and you're not willing to hold yourself back because of the opinions of some random people that you've never met before. Or maybe they're the opinions of your friends. Maybe they're opinions of your family. And you have to decide for yourself if you're going to take on those beliefs, or you can decide to take on new beliefs for yourself. And you can decide how you want to live your life and what is right for you. And then you be unapologetic about that. And you look to your own opinion. So when you decide and you say, I'm not going to approach that girl because what if this? All these negative thought processes start coming into your mind, self-doubt, rationalizations, and then you walk away and you don't approach. Well, do you care about your own opinion? When you walk away, how are you going to feel about yourself? The fact that you didn't follow through, the fact that you wanted to take action, but you decided not to because you were more concerned and worried and fearful of societal perceptions and your reputation. You realize that not everyone's going to like you. Everybody's going to have an opinion about you, and they're not always going to be favorable. They're not going to think of you the way that you may wish that people would think of you, which is why you should care about what you think of yourself. Are you going to be proud of yourself that you walked away and you didn't take that opportunity and you didn't give yourself that chance for success, for the glory, to maybe have the experience that would make life meaningful for you? Or are you going to walk away? Are you going to feel good about yourself? Or would you rather go make the attempt, and even if it doesn't go anywhere, at least you found out. You took it to its full conclusion. You're not living in some false reality of your mind, imagining that if you did this, you would do so well, and you could have totally got that girl's phone number. You could have totally gotten in a relationship with her. If I did this, I would for sure be successful. But you never try. You'd rather live in that reality of your mind where you could just imagine that if you did it, you would be successful in that thing. But the fact is that you never know until you try. And you want to start valuing reality for what it is. See what you can really accomplish in real life. See what you're made of, as they say. What are you made of? What can you accomplish? What have you produced in your life? It's great, and it's a valuable thing to be reading books and educating yourself and learning about these different theories and concepts and ideas about morality and beliefs. But then how do you put those things to practice? Well, one way to do that is by getting out there and holding yourself accountable, becoming self-reliant. When you say to yourself that tonight I'm going to go out and any girl that intrigues me that I would like to talk to, I go and I make the attempt. That's my metric for success. And nobody else is there to hold you accountable. Nobody's going to be there to tell you, good job. Good job, Adam, you did it. So then you got to be there for yourself. You got to be there to hold yourself accountable. When you're sitting there and you go, oh, well, if I don't approach, no one's going to know. No one's going to know but me. Are you saying that your opinion doesn't matter? The opinion of someone else matters more than your own opinion of yourself? That's pathetic. The opinion that you have of yourself should be the most important thing, not the opinions of others. So then you start valuing your own opinion. You start valuing self-reliance, self-control, and character building. The person that you become on the journey, that is the reward. And it truly is. Because you don't have control necessarily over somebody else's actions. The only thing you have control over, ultimately, is yourself. But even that's cultivated. And self-mastery is probably said to be one of the most difficult things that one can do in their life. And this is a great way to put that into practice. Exercise that ability to follow through with the things that you say you're going to do. Little commitments that you keep to yourself, promises that you keep to yourself. Like they say, if you can't keep a promise to yourself, what makes you think that you're going to be reliable for somebody else? Can you even rely on yourself? Cultivating the habits that you want, taking proactive control over your actions, the way that you view the world, emotional control, not allowing someone else to dictate how you feel and the way that you're going to live your life. You say, no, this is how I'm going to live my life. This is what's meaningful to me. This is how I want to spend my time. And you do it. And then you follow through. And you're putting that trait, that quality into practice. So you got to work it out in your own mind. You say, I embrace success and all that comes along with it, the good and the bad. Because you might just think, I just want to meet attractive young women. That's what I want to do with my life. But then someone might say, oh, that's weird. That's weird. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are to step up and to try in life? You know, that's another thing. We're afraid of success. So you have to embrace the scrutiny, embrace the criticism, embrace the attention. Who am I to be successful? We would rather not try because we don't want to have that attention. We don't want to have that scrutiny. We would rather not try because we don't want to look foolish. We'd rather imagine that if we did try, we would look this way. I would be so cool. I wouldn't fail. We're afraid of failure. No, failure is a part of the process. Looking silly down is a part of the process. The sooner you embrace that, which again comes back to caring about your own opinion rather than the opinions of others. Why do I care if I fail and somebody sees that? Where am I going to be a year down the road, a month down the road, at the end of today? If I make the attempt, if I try, if I fall, but I still tried. I was willing to fail. I'm going to be further along than the guy that never tries and never gets into the arena and sits back and would rather judge others to make themselves feel better, because that's where that comes from. People that want to judge others, it's because they don't. What would they look like if they were to put themselves out there and actually try? Well, they're going to fail too, because nobody is above that. If you want to be good at something, you are going to fall down. You are going to fail hundreds and thousands of times, and it never ends. If you're always pushing yourself, if you're riding that edge, if you're looking to get out of your comfort zone, to challenge yourself, always looking for that next level, well, then you're going to fail. And that's a beautiful thing, and that is something to be embraced, and there is nothing wrong with that. In fact, if you're not failing, you're not really trying. You're not really pushing yourself. The only person that doesn't fail is the guy that doesn't try. Be nothing, say nothing, do nothing, and you can avoid criticism. So get out there, start making the attempts. Start cultivating that self-trust, that self-reliance. This game is dynamic. There is no one answer for everybody. There's a million ways to skin a cat, as they say. Your ancestors reproduced for millions of years so that you could be here today. It is in you. It is a natural part of being a human being. It is a natural process in human nature to get out there and talk to women and to meet somebody that you can have kids with, perhaps, that you can have a relationship with, perhaps. And it is something that is cultivated. Social skills are cultivated. Everything is a skill. Anything that you see somebody succeeding at a high level in took effort and work and practice. Even something like communicating and getting better with, being better with just owning your own likes and wants and needs in life. Becoming more confident, developing self-esteem, being unapologetic about your desires and your wants that maybe are unique to you. So, take on these mindsets. Embrace your sexuality. Embrace the fact that you want to have sex with beautiful, hot women, whatever that is to you, because that's ultimately what matters most, not what the opinion is of somebody else, but what is it that's meaningful to you? What is it that's attractive to you? And you embrace that fully and you make no apologies for it. And then you get out there and you take action and you value your own opinion. So next time when you see that girl that you want to approach, but you start getting these conditioned thoughts maybe that are coming into your head from maybe from when you were younger, from TV, from media, from friends, from family, who knows where they're coming from. And you have that self-doubt creeps in and those negative thought processes and those limiting beliefs holding you back from going and taking the opportunities that present themselves to you on a daily basis. You will see these opportunities. And you say, no, I value my opinion more. What will I think of myself if I don't take action? If I leave and I let this opportunity pass, will I be proud of myself? And it doesn't mean you're a failure, but it means maybe that you failed in your actions in that moment. But you are not a failure. And yes, sometimes we will concede. We will fall short. We sometimes will not approach out of fear, out of worry. But then you analyze after the fact. You calibrate after the fact. And next time, when that opportunity arises, you make the attempt. How many times are you going to let that opportunity pass? How much are you going? You die at 1,000 deaths every time you don't take that opportunity. Death by 1,000 cuts. Be bold. Be great. Embrace success. Embrace the negativity that you may experience from others. Because that is unavoidable. Because we live in a competitive world. Everybody wants the same thing. Money, status, friendship, love, relationships. We're all the same. And sometimes we behave unconsciously, but these things that people say, maybe they're scrutinizing you, maybe they're talking, they have a negative opinion about you. Well, that's okay, because they're entitled to their opinions. Just like you're entitled to your opinion. Not everybody's going to appreciate the same things. Not everybody wants to pursue the same things in life. That's okay. But you don't have to be like that. You don't have to criticize others. You can allow others to be who they are and want what they want, and you can be a force of positivity in life. And then just be good to yourself. You'll find when you're good to yourself, you're going to be good to others. Because you'll recognize what it takes to take action, to go after what you want. It takes courage. It takes strength. It takes character. So real recognizes real. So that's it. If you made it this far, like and subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to keep bringing you content, hopefully that helps you get out there, get the life that you want. Let's get some conversation going. Leave a comment. Let me know what it is that you struggle with. I want to learn from you. Let me know what's going on with you. Let me know the kinds of things that you struggle with when you're out there trying to meet women, trying to cultivate this area of your life. How do you take action? What gets you going? How do you overcome these factors that everybody will be subjected to who puts themselves out there? You're all going to face similar challenges. How do you overcome those challenges? How do you overcome yourself? Negative thought processes, rationalizations. For me, it might be trying to read high-level literature, positive, feeding my mind positive things, taking proactive control over that. And as well, if you want to hop on a call with me, I'd like to help you with your struggles, with the things maybe that you're dealing with in this area of your life. So hit me up at datingdestruction@gmail.com. I'll give you a free 30-minute phone call where we can address your personal kinds of struggles that you're going through in this area of your life. I got over 12 years experience in this area, so I've seen a lot, and I believe I can help you no matter where you're at. As well, I also do in-field coaching, among other things. So again, you can reach out to me at datingdestruction@gmail.com and let you know the kinds of services that I offer as well. So until next time, peace out and keep making the misses.